The FBI has unlocked the iPhone of one of the terrorists in the San Bernardino massacre. This may end the legal battle with Apple. A judge had ordered Apple to help the FBI to write new software to allow them access to the phone. Apple has refused, of course, and now the Justice Department says it will withdraw its request for Apple's help. NewYorker.com editor and CBS News contributor Nick Thompson is on the phone. Nick, always good to talk to you.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, so this ends this legal battle, but we've still got this issue hanging over us about privacy versus security and the 21st century. This doesn't end the conversation, does it?
Oh, it doesn't end it at all. I mean, this is just a very dramatic example of a conversation that we're going to be having for quite some time. There are a number of other court cases pending. There are a lot of investigations pending. I think what ultimately is going to happen is that this is going to be seen as one of the markers in a very important debate that's going to carry on for the next couple of years. Ideally, the next step will be for Congress to take this issue up and to come up with some solutions, to find some compromises. But right now, the way we should think about this case is this is the moment where we all really thought about this debate. We really heard from both sides, and this will help frame everything as it continues.
All right, Nick, can you take us back to how we got here to begin with?
Sure. The way we got here is that there's a phone, and it was used by one of the terrorists in San Bernardino. And the FBI was unable to get into it. And so the FBI and Apple negotiated, and the FBI said, come on, help us. You've got to help us get into the phone. Traditionally, what happens is when the FBI comes to Apple with a legitimate warrant, Apple gives the information on the phone to the FBI. In this case, because of the way Apple had constructed the phone in other cases, Apple couldn't get it. It couldn't just simply get the information off the phone. In order to give the information to the FBI, it would have had to have essentially built another operating system. It would have to have built additional code in order to hack into its system. And so Apple said to the FBI, no, we're not going to do that. And so for a while, behind closed doors, they went back and forth, and then it went out in the public. And the FBI said, you know what, we're going to court. We're going to order you to make the software to break into the phone. The judge agreed with the FBI. So at that point, it looked like the FBI was in a really good situation. They had sort of the moral upper hand. This is a terrorist's phone. They needed Apple's help. But then the public battle, and this started to play out in the press, Apple kind of got the other hand. It is very good at the press, and it made a very persuasive argument to a lot of people that there was something morally wrong about being asked to create software to hack into its own product. So over the last couple of weeks, we've seen the tide kind of turn against the FBI. So at some point, another company comes to the FBI, because this has obviously been a topic of international conversation, and says, actually, we think we can get you into the phone without Apple's assistance. The FBI, either because it sees a lifeline and a way to get out of the case, which is losing in the court of public opinion, or because it simply wants to solve this problem quickly and solve the case, goes along with them. And apparently tonight they've gotten into the phone and they're getting the information that they need.
So, Nick, how much concern is there now that we know the government likely has the technology to hack into every phone?
Well, yes and no. I mean, this is a relatively old iPhone, which was one of the issues. This was an iPhone 5. A lot of people are using iPhone 6, different technologies. We don't exactly know how the government got in. We don't exactly know what information they've gotten off of it. And the truth is that in the past, up until very recently, the government could get into every phone with a warrant. And in fact, that was the way society wanted it. They wanted the government to be able to go to a tech company and say, we have a warrant from a court to get the information on this phone. Please give it to us. It was only recently, about a year and a half ago, that tech companies started to construct their phones in a way that made it impossible for the government to come with a warrant and get it, right? They built a level of encryption into the phones that made it impossible for the government to get the information off of it. So it's not like suddenly we have far less privacy and security than we've had for a long time. It's that in this one particular instance with this one particular phone, the government has found a hack to get information off of it.
All right, NewYorker.com editor Nick Thompson, thank you. Always good to talk to you, man.
Glad to be here. Good to talk with you.